Hello and welcome to another episode of Mike and Dave's Hi-Fi Riff. I'm Mike Evans.
And I'm David Price.
And David, on this week's episode, what are we going to be talking about?
We're going to be talking about the best turntable in the world. No, not in the world. In the world of £400 turntables.
Which is really lucky.
Yes.
Because I got it.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have. I have. I've got it here, look. This is the best turntable you can buy under £400. Do you know what it is?
Well, it's not the best turntable you can buy under £400 for a start.
Okay, if you're going to be contentious about it, what do you think it is? What do you think is the best turntable you can buy under £400?
I think it's the Rega Planar 1 Plus.
It's a shame we haven't got one then, isn't it?
Yes, we have.
This week's episode, we have a turntable shootout. Look at this. So how much is yours?
Mine is £385. No, you keep yours like that. Then we've got mine around the wrong way.
Oh, beg your pardon.
So
£385. Mine's cheap.
You can tell you're a pro by.
Sorry about that. Well, I can't wait to show the sockets off.
Yeah, I know. So,
and mine's a bit cheaper.
More of that later.
Mine's £375, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it's £370 something.
£370 something. Yeah. So not only is mine better, but it's also cheaper.
Well, it's cheaper.
In terms of features and functionality, mine's got more than yours.
It has.
It has, you see.
In terms of sound quality, mine's got more than yours.
Do you think so?
Yes, I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm not sure I wholeheartedly agree.
No.
Not sure. Well, certainly not with our vinyl selection, which we've been playing.
That's right.
I think the USP which your particular Rega has, and I've had to go into your bathroom to find it.
You can't stay out of that place.
I can't stay out of the bathroom. David's bathroom, for those of you who haven't seen any of our riffs before, is just full of gems. And I'm going to show you one here. Look, this is what I found earlier in your
literary
bathroom.
gems, I think.
Literary gem, yes. This is Ford Cars magazine from December '77. Look at this. Now, the reason why, actually, I think your Rega P1 Plus is
Planar 1 Plus
is because it's got the same dashboard as a Capri gear.
It's a Ford Capri gear,
Look
folks.
at that. It is. I don't
Ford
know.
Capri gear dashboard in turntable form.
We'll do a close up of that for a shot. But you have a Ford Capri gear.
I love it.
Dashboard as your plinth.
Yeah, that's why I love this turntable.
I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
I don't remember any white dashboards.
No, sort of painted satin white car dashboards, and certainly not from our era of 70s.
No. But in all seriousness, I think that here's the thing about these two turntables. I think, actually, it doesn't matter which one you choose, you wouldn't be disappointed.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I'm afraid so.
Because I think this is really good. And as much as it pains me to say this, I think that's really good as well.
Yeah.
And isn't it strange how, despite the fact there's only £10 price difference, and they do bear a lot of similarities in their design, they do sound quite different in many ways.
They do.
They do sound quite different in many ways. How would you describe your Rega P1 Plus?
So we'll start. So I think before we do that, let's just put this in context with a wider market. Okay. So if you go,
that sounds quite professional.
Thank you, Mike. So
this could be a first for Hi-Fi Riff.
I don't think it's going to catch on somehow.
No.
So anyway, as I was saying before, I so rudely interrupted viewers. So what are you laughing at? So there we go.
I'm going to get a T-shirt for you made with that on it.
All right. Anyway, so go into sort of HMV type stores and behold all of the vinyl that's there these days. It's amazing to see, isn't it? After 10, 15 years ago, there was the occasional kind of Motown repress and sort of Hotel California, but now there's a lot. And they also sell turntables, and they sell various sort of cheapskate turntables from certain manufacturers we won't mention. And those can be, £100 to £200. Obviously, these are both around $400. So they're not that much more expensive. But the reason we're featuring both of these is that we think that they are dramatically better than the sort of super cheap stuff. And there's also some stuff around 300 or 400 quid from sort of manufacturers like JBL and Lenko and others who, you know, they're not bad, but they're not quite up there. They're basically more kind of beginner turntables, feature oriented, whereas these are basically, they feel like proper hi-fi turntables that have sort of shrunk in the wash.
They look like proper hi-fi turntables as well, don't they? They don't look cheap and nasty at all, do they?
And they come from manufacturers who do much more expensive decks as well.
Yeah.
And it's obvious they know what they're doing by looking at these and the sort of cost issues that they've faced. They've taken the cost out, but in very sensible ways, I think.
Yes. Yes.
So these are they've both got a built-in cartridge, and they've both got a built-in phono stage.
I've got an Autophon.
You've got an Autophon OM5, I think.
OM5E, yeah.
Yeah, which is a really good little
really
cartridge.
Nice. Reminds me of my dual CS505 from back in the day.
Absolutely.
With that lovely cartridge in it.
Well, they absolutely that. So they used to come with OM5s, the duals did.
Yeah.
This has got a Rega carbon, and if you take the carbon name off, it's actually an Audio-Technica 80-3600L.
Right.
And that's basically, as far as I know now, it's the cheapest Audio-Technica for sort of conventional use, as far as I know.
So what stylus profile will it have?
Yeah, it's got a spherical stylus.
Okay.
So you've got an elliptical.
I've got an elliptical stylus. Yeah, I have.
So I've got stylus envy.
You should, so you should have.
Yeah.
I actually think that probably contributes quite a bit to the difference in the sound as well.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough. But your Rega sounds. I'm going to sort of shoot myself in the foot here. It sounds a bit more grown up than my Pro-Ject here.
Slightly, yeah.
Do you think?
I think they both sound surprisingly grown up for the price. I think that's the first thing.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I'll totally agree with that.
So cheap vinyl can be absolutely dreadful, and neither of these are anywhere near that. I think they're both
not at all.
Quite good fun, quite nice.
Really good fun.
Yeah.
Really, really good fun. In fact, can I do this as well?
Yeah.
We had some really interesting choice of records here, thanks to your good self. I'm going to do this in sort of a bit of a random order.
Yeah.
So we started with, strangely, Arthur the album, which was kind of not what I expected at all. Do you want to explain why we played Arthur the album?
Yeah, it's the original soundtrack from the film. Have you seen the film?
Yeah, many
Brilliant.
times.
It's really good, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Dudley Moore. And doing a very... and Lisa Minnelli.
Yeah, John Gielgud.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great cast, as they say.
Yes.
It's a great film. It's a really nice kind of relaxed comedy from about 1980. And Christopher Cross does the soundtrack to it.
Yep.
And that's the soundtrack album.
Yes.
And the title track is...
Arthur's Theme.
Arthur's Theme, funnily enough. Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
So it's something about getting caught between the moon and New York City, isn't it?
Drunk.
Yes.
So sounds the sort of thing we'd do on a Friday night. Yeah.
Well, yes, in Oxfordshire and Wiltshire, there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the reason that we chose this was it's heavily piano based.
Yes.
And as any sort of good analog addict knows, analog has speed stability issues or can have. So poor analog, whether you're talking cassette decks, tape decks, or turntables, if you have poor speed stability, it will really show on piano, won't it?
It does. Yeah, it sounds weird and horrible.
Just goes kind of thing. It's sort of
very good.
Goes. I won't try and do that again.
No, okay.
So it's kind of wow and flutter, isn't it? And,
yes.
You just get these kind of like piano chords played, and then it just sort of floats slightly off the off the pitch, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you also get it on violins and things like that, and strings you can hear, but you tend not to hear it so easily on sort of guitar stuff, I think. So if you're demming a turntable and dealer, it's actually quite good to take a track like that.
Take your Arthur album.
Take your Arthur album with
our
you.
top tip for the day.
Absolutely. Or any other such album with piano. Could be Debussy Prelude for all you care.
Yes.
Just basically listen to it and listen for the purity of the piano tone. And I've tried a number of cheap turntables over the years, and they don't do very well in that respect.
Sure.
But both of these do, don't
really
they?
Good. Really good. Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. This felt a little bit brighter for me than the Rega. The Rega felt a bit more detailed.
Yeah.
But I had great joy listening to it on this. Then we changed tack again. Hang on, let's go to song number 2.
Yep.
Oh yeah, okay. So this is interesting. So I haven't heard this in a million years.
Yeah.
Yazoo.
Yeah.
Alison Moyet.
Yeah.
Vince Clarke.
Second album, wasn't it?
Their second album, yeah. It wasn't Upstairs at Eric's, which was their first album, wasn't it? But you were going to ask me that as a quiz question, weren't you? Yeah, I see. Yeah.
But
you and me both.
It's too easy, Mike. That
you and me both.
For you.
That's the name of the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there we are. It sounded really great, actually. It sounded really, really good. Hey, did you make me a cup of tea?
No.
Okay, gonna change there then. So yeah, loved that. That sounded great.
Yeah.
Again, similar kind of thing.
Yeah.
I felt this was sort of more a little sort of more upbeat, maybe a little bit brighter.
Yeah.
Rega sounded a bit more kind of mature.
Yeah.
But I still thought this sounded really great.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Then we went to a belter.
Yep.
An absolute banger, as apparently what you're supposed to say now.
Yeah, as we say here in Wiltshire.
Banger. Look at this, De La Soul.
Yeah.
De La Soul 12
Great album, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Great
Saturdays.
track, rather.
Amazing, really cool. Saturdays by De La Soul.
Yeah.
Sounded great.
Yeah.
Sounded really cool. Yeah. Really loved that. That was the roller skating jam.
Called Saturdays.
Saturdays, yes.
Named Saturdays,
yes. Love that. Love that. That's super cool.
So,
please, be my guest. Take it from me, or I steal it. So obviously this is a 45.
Yep.
45 revolutions per minute.
It is.
So actually easier to play on my Pro-Ject because I've got a little switch on the side.
You have.
And I can turn between. I've got a Lin Lingo.
You've got a kind of
I have
Lin Lingo that's shrunk in the wash, haven't you?
Exactly. You have to take your platter off and mess around with the belt. Yeah.
So
interesting to see Rega are now using metal pulleys there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There we go. So you
funky.
Just change that from the spindle there.
Whereas I just press my.
You switch your switch.
Yes.
You're in the club class there, Mike.
I really am.
Economy.
Yeah. Can I say the other party trick which my amazing Pro-Ject turntable has got? Okay, so I need to show some sockets for this. Well, actually, you can't really tell by the sockets.
Calm down, viewers.
Mine's got a built-in phono stage.
Yes, so is mine.
Okay, so that's no good then. Mine has got Bluetooth.
Yes.
AptX Bluetooth as well. Actually, I think that's quite cool.
Yep.
Because obviously there's a huge market these days for Bluetooth speakers.
Yeah.
And these are I think these are good party decks.
Yeah.
With all of that stuff. And I think this would be really cool.
Yeah.
Just a Bluetooth speaker and sort of plug and play kind of thing, isn't it? So like that.
Yeah. Well, I've got a little JBL Bluetooth speaker, so I can't remember what it's called. It's like that. It's like a kind of Coke bottle almost sort of profile.
You heard it here first.
And it sort of went on, synced easily.
Whoever told us we were hi-fi snobs, David's got a JBL Bluetooth speaker.
Yep, absolutely.
So, yes.
So not as my main system, obviously. So.
Have you not? Oh God, I just broken it. Was that supposed to come off?
Yes, it was.
There we are. Look at that.
There we go.
That's really cool.
Yeah, but flat belt there, and the Rega belt is kind of more
spherical.
Circular,
yeah, interesting.
As it were. So,
I can't get that back on there. I killed it.
There we go.
Sorry, everybody. Just having a bit of a mare.
It's all right. It's only 370 quid, Mike. You'll pay that back within a week or two.
I think it's a little bit of a hi-fi bargain at that price.
Yeah,
I must say. And all teasing aside, I actually think the Rega is pretty stonking as well.
Yeah.
So I think we've found a bit of a Hi-Fi Riff Best Buy here, haven't we?
Yeah.
If you can listen to them both, great.
Yeah.
But you'll struggle to choose between the two. I think for me, the Bluetooth bit I quite like as a bit of a USP.
I think it's nice that they both exist. Actually, I think Mike and I are big Rega fans, and in the old days we would have kind of automatically assumed the Rega would win.
Absolutely. No old days about it.
Yeah.
That's what I assumed this time around.
Yeah. But the Rega is great. It sounds basic. If you ever heard a Planar 3 or a Planar 2, It sounds like that, but just not quite as sort of sophisticated.
No,
but it still sounds very mature and sort of smooth, tonally smooth, and kind of refined.
Yes.
And the Pro-Ject is also that, but it's slightly less kind of sophisticated sounding. It's more fun, isn't it?
Yes, it is actually.
We're not talking a massive difference, but it's a smidge more kind of
bit foot tappy.
Yeah, more foot tappy,
quite foot tappy.
Yeah, but I think I'd be quite happy to have either.
So would I.
And
so would I.
In the old days, having reviewed Pro-Ject decks many times over the years, I think they're getting better and better, and I think that is really hard to argue with.
Yeah,
and you've almost got to be a Rega fan to go for this one over that one, considering that's kind of easier to use, and it's got a Bluetooth.
Yes, and it's got an elliptical cartridge.
Indeed, or stylus even.
Absolutely.
But the other thing to say as well is that both of these cartridges are decent, and I'd say at the moment the Pro-Ject's got arguably a slightly better one, but again, I hear that they may be changing in the future to an Audio-Technica at some point.
Okay.
So, but it's not a big deal. It's not a deal breaker.
Sure.
But in both cases, the moving magnet phono stage fitted to both of these is excellent.
Yeah.
I think it's very good. It's very quiet.
It's great they've got one.
Absolutely. It's quiet. It's dynamic. There's no hiss and hum and all that kind of stuff.
No. Actually, really low surface noise on your Rega.
Surprisingly low surface noise.
Very much so. Were they? Sorry, should have asked this earlier. You set these up. Were they easy to set up?
Yes, that's a great question. Actually, thank you. That is your one. Unfortunately, is easier to set up
than the
Rega. The Rega is still very easy to set up. So basically, you have to put the counterweight on this and balance it. Whereas that one comes preset.
The Rega tone arm looks a little bit beefier as well than my
It
Pro-Ject
is.
one,
I think it's fractionally better as a tone arm tone arms go.
Sure.
But the preset tracking force on that, I checked it before I used it, and again it was set accurately, and it came up. It's properly installed and everything, and you basically just get that thing out and plug it in. Really
brilliant.
And this is pretty close.
So in our sort of classic riff style here, nobody's really learned anything, have they?
Yeah.
We haven't really made a decision actually as to which is the best of the two. But what we can say is they're both excellent.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to spend any more than £380, then look no further. You've got two absolute bangers.
Yes.
This is my new word for the day.
Very good,
Mike.
Mike.
Thank you. Yeah. Two bangers.
Except mine's better.
Probably. No, I didn't say that.
No, actually, yours is better.
No, yours is better.
So I'm going to give for my score.
Oh yes, okay.
So I'm going to give.
You're going to score yours.
Yes, I am.
Okay, and I'm going to score mine.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I wondered how we were going to do that.
So I'm going to give mine 11. No, I'm not. So I'm going to give mine 9.
Yeah.
Because obviously a more expensive deck in the sort of £800 region is better.
Yes.
But this does very well for the money. It's a great sort of starter project, product, and it has a lot of what's really good about Rega, but for a super low price with a good phono stage. So I'm going to give mine 9. I don't give out higher scores.
No, very good.
Easily
sold.
Yeah.
I can't do any less now, can I? I've got to give the Pro-Ject because one, I love the Bluetooth functionality. I know that's probably not particularly hi-fi, but it's so useful.
Yeah, it works really well as well. It sounds really good.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, surprisingly.
And it's got a really good phono stage. It's got just a really cool turntable.
Yeah.
But the thing about this is, I tapped my feet more to this than I did to the Rega.
Yeah.
And maybe sometimes that's all it's about. I don't know.
It's a great fun thing to listen to, and sort of last observation of the riff, if I may, Mike. So 400 quid, 380 quid or whatever on these, and you compare the sound to a streamer of that price, and I think these are more fun.
They would be a lot more fun. Yeah, a lot more fun. Yeah. And a quick trip to sort of, the secondhand record shop.
Yes.
And, hey presto, you've
Absolutely.
got some cracking vinyl as well.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
The only thing is, obviously, you don't have the Ford Capri dashboard effect. With
I know.
Which is the only downside. There we go.
Well, there we go.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
And on that note,
Yep.
thank you very much indeed for watching this episode of Mike and Dave's Hi-Fi Riff, and we'll see you at the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.